In this video, I'm going to break down a 4-step process that you can use within any work or project situation that can help you become a better leader. And if you hang on to the end of the video, I will actually describe how this 4-step process can also work in your day-to-day life. What is this 4-step process for leadership? Well, I call it SIMS. S-I-M-S. Stands for Simplify, Inspire, Move, Support. In this episode, I'm going to break down each of those 4 areas and describe how you can use them in a work or a project situation. But before I do, I wanted to share this quote on the screen as I feel like it describes leadership. One of the best quotes that I've ever read that really speaks to how I feel about leadership. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. The reason why I like this quote so much and how it describes leadership for me is it isn't about leading. It isn't about giving directions. It's about taking action in your own life. And that for me is the essence of leadership. It's actually the actions that you take and what you do makes you a leader. Anytime I enter a new work or project situation, I try to play Sims. I know that sounds a bit corny because there's a large PC game called Sims, but I think life is play, and if you can use different models and acronyms and different methods to help you be a better leader, I'm all for that. So let's look at the first letter of this acronym, and it is simplify. As we dive into this, I'm going to slide up another quote here from Albert Einstein. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Mr. Einstein. This is my number one key activity that every manager, not only in a corporate environment, but in an entrepreneurial environment, needs to learn. If you're a small business owner or you're a middle manager in a corporate environment, you need to learn to make things simple. Not only the directions that you're giving out to the people above, below, or around you, but also simplify the activities that you need to get done. At the end of the day, there's only ever really 5 or 10 key activities that drive your current team or organization forward. So this is where you need to lean into also the Pietro principle, the 80-20 philosophy. You need to find those 20% of activities that give you 80% of your results and basically forget the rest. Yes, you might be screaming at your phone right now and saying, but Steve, I've got hundreds and hundreds of things to do. Yeah, but 80-90% of those things aren't actually going to be worthwhile in your results a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 10 months down the line. You won't even remember those activities. You need to focus on the key drivers and then simplify, 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 so everybody understands what they need to do. The next letter in the acronym SIMS, of course, is I, and that is for inspire. And before we dive deeper into this, I want to throw up a quote by Simon Sinek here. There are only 2 ways to influence human behavior. You can manipulate it, or you can inspire it. Simon Sinek. You may have heard of Simon Sinek. He is a managerial expert and has written a number of books on the subject. And his knowledge not only works within the corporate environments, but it works within entrepreneurial environments and life itself. And this quote, for me, really sets out what inspiring people is about. You don't influence people to do things. You don't manage people and processes. Managers manage people. Leaders inspire people, motivate people, give people that grand vision, and bring them on a journey to help them not only get better, but to transform and then eventually transcend the role that they're in and move on to something bigger and better. A lot of managers and a lot of positions out there will ask you to look after a team or do a process, and a lot of people get fixated on the data and the results and they forget about the humans that are actually doing the work. This is where you need to learn to inspire and motivate so you can really bring the team along on a journey and not only get the work done, but make the work enjoyable while you are doing it. So remember, once you've simplified the message, you want to be able to inspire your people by creating a vision that motivates them to not only do the work, but to get better and hopefully eventually leave that role they're in for something a bit more challenging, something for a bit more money, or something that they actually really want to do. So inspire your team. The next letter in the acronym SIMS is M for move out of the way. And before we talk about that a bit further, I want to throw up another quote. This one from Patton. Don't tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do and let them surprise you with their results. George S. Patton. What I like about this quote and how it relates to move out of the way, is that it's saying, give your team instructions and then let them do the work. I don't know how many managers I've worked underneath or how many managers I've seen, and you've probably worked underneath these people or worked with these types of people, that when they give a team or give people directions, they then follow up by being all involved with it. Micromanaging. It's the curse of modern day management. There are a number of managers that do fall into the micromanagement trap, and when they give you a task, they don't get out of your way. They get involved because they might feel like they can get the work done better than you, or they don't think that you have the skills, knowledge, and ability to do it in the way that they want it done. So they pretty much do it themselves, or you have the other type of manager who's the overloading manager. They give you a project or a task to do, and then something else comes down the pipeline and they don't know how to simplify the message, so they give you the work anyway rather than actually running it through a filter and deciding, does this need to be done right now? So you can end up being overwhelmed and not actually being able to get that project done. One of the key things you have to do when you give your team work is move out of the way. I know this can be hard for entrepreneurs, and I also know this can be hard for certain corporate managers that used to be subject matter experts of the work that they are now leading as a manager. But get out of the way. Let your team do the work, because if they fail, they will learn. If you don't give them the opportunity to fail and you get in their way, they'll not try next time because they'll expect you to do the work. So remember to move out of the way. The last letter in the acronym SIMS is support. Support your team, support your staff. Support them when they need you. Don't over-support them, don't under-support them. But before diving a bit deeper into it, let's look at another quote. A good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly do well, and help those who are doing well do even better. Jim Rohn. This is a fantastic quote for me, and a really great quote to start to wrap up this SIMS acronym and how to use it within a work environment. Support those that aren't doing well and get them to achieve what they need to achieve and make them better. But also support those that are doing well and move them from good to excellent. Too many times within work environments, a lot of managers get bogged down focusing only on the low performers, and they kind of ignore the high performers. So what happens here is some high performers feel like they're being neglected, and low performers feel like they're being micromanaged. This can unbalance your team. Yes, support your team. Move out of the way. Motivate them and inspire them. Simplify the message. But supporting your team is one of the key things that you've got to do. You've got to be there for them. And having an open door policy is bullshit. Yeah, your door's open, so what? You've got to get out there and you've got to show that you're available. Go and speak to people, take people for coffee, have some fun activities, make people feel good about being in work. This relates back to inspire and motivate, and it also relates back to simplify. Kind of relates to move out of the way as well. Because if you're there supporting the staff and making sure that they're happy at work, providing them with some fun entertainment during hard work periods, and letting them get on with it, you're supporting your staff by letting them do the work and making them feel comfortable, allowing them to focus on their job, giving them autonomy, letting them master the craft that they're working at, so one day they can maybe take over from you when you move on. And that gives them purpose because they have a future in the organization, they know where their goals are, and they know what they're working towards. SIMS: simplify, inspire, move out of the way, support. Remember this acronym the next time you enter a new work project or environment, whether you're in the team, running the team, or you assign the work as a corporate manager or entrepreneur. This 4-step process will help you achieve much more with your teams. And at the end here, I wanted to quickly describe how you would use SIMS in your own life. Simplify your life as much as you can. Try not to take on too much. Try not to have 100 things going on at once. Try to focus on 3 to 5 main activities or habits that you want to achieve. Inspire yourself. Read good books, listen to good podcasts. Don't watch negative news, and don't consume too much junk media and social media. Move out of your way. You are the biggest block to your own success. You will talk yourself out of many ideas before you even start them because you will have doubts in yourself. Move out of your way. Just move out of the way. Just do it. Test. Work on it. That's the direct experience that you need to decide whether you should progress or stop that activity. And then finally, support yourself. Look after yourself. Eat healthy, get sleep, exercise, and don't have a lot of negative chat in your head. Not only can you use Sims in the work environment, but you can also use it in your life just to create better workflow and processes and kill it. Thanks very much for watching all the way through this part of the video. I really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you in the next one. Make it a good one.